Welcome to the Service Company's Hospitality Services Division New Employee Orientation. We're super excited to tell you everything you need to know about working at TSC. So click that begin button and let's get started. There are a number of benefits that come with working at TSC. Some favorites include how you can find yourself working at a variety of companies in different industries and environments, how you're in control of your schedule, providing you the flexibility you need to juggle all of your responsibilities, and of course, don't forget that 20% discount on safety footwear. Don't forget to ask your manager for a coupon if you haven't already been provided one. Speaking of accepting assignments, that process will begin later today when we offer you your first assignment. From there, it's important for you to let us know when you're available to work. We ask that you do so by sending your availability in an email to the email address on your screen. And remember, if you do accept an assignment and run into any problems making it to that assignment, you have to call the emergency line as soon as you're aware of the issue so your staffing managers can have as much time as possible to find somebody to cover your assignment. If we are unable to answer or during off hours, your call will be rerouted to a 24-hour operator service that will take your message and inform the appropriate manager on duty. When you do accept an assignment, the next thing your staffing manager is going to do is send you this confirmation email designed to give you all the information you need to know about your assignment. These emails may all look very similar, but be sure to check them thoroughly, as there could always be changes to uniforms, parking instructions, check-in procedures, etc. Also, keep in mind if you don't see your confirmation email shortly after accepting an assignment, be sure to check your junk or your spam folder, as this could very well be the reason you didn't receive your email. If you still can't find it, be sure to reach out to your staffing manager as soon as possible so that we can figure out the best way to get you this information. Another thing we want you to keep in mind is that while TSC wants to keep all of our employees as busy as possible, we don't get to create any work ourselves. Our work demands depend directly on our clients' current staffing needs, which means while 1 week might be incredibly busy with a lot of shifts to go around, that may not be the case every week. Bear with us, keep sending in your availability, and we will keep offering you the assignments as they become available. TSC break policies follow the state law in which an employee works in. Regardless of states, breaks cannot be combined or waived in order to come in late or leave early. While employees should always be following management instructions as far as when to take your break, it is ultimately the employee's responsibility to ensure they take their break. Any instances of being denied your break should be reported to your staffing manager as soon as possible. Here at TSC, we pay weekly, with our pay period starting on Mondays and paydays being Fridays. So in other words, everything worked from Monday through Sunday will be paid out that following Friday. Please note, we have a few clients with pay periods starting on Saturday. Your manager will let you know if you are working at one of these accounts. Please remember to keep track of the hours you work because your management team may reach out to you to validate your hours from the previous week. To ensure you receive your pay in a timely manner, we offer two convenient forms of payment: direct deposit or instant pay cards. You'll receive an email with more information on this, or you can look in the description of this video under additional resources links, or simply scan the QR code in the corner for more information. Either way, once you get logged into your Dayforce account, you'll be able to set up direct deposit or request an instant pay card. If this is set up by the end of the day on Monday, it will be activated for that following Friday. If you choose not to set up direct deposit or an instant pay card, your checks will be mailed to you via US Postal Services. Speaking of getting paid, it's incredibly important that you make sure to sign in and out of every assignment that you work for at TSC. How clients handle the time reporting process may vary slightly by client, but typically the report to contact from your confirmation email will have a timesheet that looks like this example for you to sign in and out of at the beginning and end of every shift. If you are ever unable to sign in and out for a shift for any reason, please make sure to follow up with your staffing manager as soon as possible with an email or text message detailing your hours and what you did that day, so that they can see to it that you get paid for your hours worked. Our clients expect a certain level of professionalism from TSC employees. That means that you arrive to an assignment dressed to impress and follow these 3 basic rules for success. Have great communication, meaning you're asking questions when unsure and making sure that your teammates know exactly what you're working on at all times. Be self-aware, Assume somebody is always watching at these events, and make sure that you walk with a purpose and look constantly busy at all times. And if you're ever unsure what you should be working on, finding a manager to ask them how you can best be of assistance is the #1 surefire way to make sure clients give us good feedback about you and request you back for any future events. As far as uniform requirements go, some things to keep in mind include no facial jewelry or hoop earrings are allowed. Small studded earrings are fine, just nothing that presents the risk of getting caught on anything. Hair should always be neat and always pulled back away from your face. Your uniform should always be stain and wrinkle free, and nails should be kept clean, trimmed, and natural. Also, make sure not to overdo it with the colognes or perfumes. You'd be surprised how close you have to get to guests at times to clear a plate or refill a glass of water, and we definitely don't want any guests complaining about odors. Lastly, tattoos should never be visible in front of guests. Any tattoos not covered by the uniform should be covered up as best possible with bandages or makeup. Let's go over some examples of our most common uniforms. Our cooking staff will typically be in what we call our chef whites, which consists of a white chef's coat with black or checkered chef pants and black non-slip safety shoes. Our front of the house staff will typically be in our white bistro attire, which consists of a white dress shirt with black slacks, black polishable non-slip shoes, a black belt, and a black necktie. You may also see some variations of these uniforms, including our black bistro attire, which consists of a black dress shirt with the same black slacks and black polishable non-slip shoes. Variations could include things like the tie not being required or the need for a bistro apron as shown in this example. Now, how about some tips on how to make that great impression on clients that'll ensure they request you back time and time again? First and foremost, be on time. Since most of the time you'll be going to locations that are new to you, be sure to give yourself extra time to figure out the commute, parking, and check-in situation. It's always best to arrive 15 minutes early and wait for your assignment to start, then get sent home because you're 15 minutes late. Have a positive attitude and keep in mind while every assignment won't always be the most fun position you've ever had, you're there as part of a larger team to play your role and ensure that the event goes off without a hitch. Within your role, take every opportunity you get to do more than what's expected of you. And of course, make sure to arrive in the right uniform. Nobody wants to get sent home because they forgot their tie or showed up in the wrong colored shirt. While there's no shortage of reasons one's employment at TSC could come to an end, some reasons for dismissal deserve a little more consideration. It should go without saying that you're never allowed to come to work under the influence of drugs or alcohol, get confrontational, or sexually harass any of your teammates or guests. And taking items home from the assignment is called stealing and is equally frowned upon. While it's not unusual for clients to provide you with a meal during your shift, eating or drinking without prior permission from the client can also lead to dismissal. Cell phones are another hot topic nowadays. And while we don't expect employees to leave their cell phones at home when they go to work, cell phone use should be limited to your breaks and should be kept out of sight at all other times. Above all of these, though, is the dreaded no-call, no-show. And while I can't think of any industry where you can not show up to work one day and still expect to have a job the next, this is particularly true in the staffing industry. Failing to show up to an assignment not only puts your staffing manager and the client in a difficult position, because now they're short on staff, but it's also unfair to your coworkers, as I'm sure there is somebody else who would have loved to have taken that assignment, shown up, and received pay for those hours, but they didn't get the chance to because you accepted the assignment first. This is why no-call, no-show simply will not be tolerated. Now for the other end of the spectrum, permanent placements. They're a regular part of our business, and there's nothing we love more than when a client comes to us and says, we love so-and-so, and we want to make them a permanent part of our team. But there's a couple of things that we need you to keep in mind. First and foremost, there's a time and place for everything, and in the middle of a busy event when there's 500 mouths waiting to be fed is not the right time to be asking management about a job within their company. If there's a client you're interested in working with, let your staffing manager know and we can approach them through the proper channels. If you yourself are approached by a client to fill out an application, you're more than welcome to do so. but let your staffing manager know as soon as possible. This will ensure that we're able to provide the client with everything they'll need to make you a permanent member of their team. Our Human Resources Department is always there to help and can always be contacted at hshr@theservicecompanies.com. TSC is committed to providing and maintaining a safe work environment, and all employees play an important role in the safety and protection of other employees, clients, guests, and property. You must always set a good example to other employees by following proper procedures. You must immediately report unsafe conditions as well as accidents to either your staffing manager or the Human Resources Department. In the case of a workplace injury, your first step should be to call our injury hotline. Afterwards, make sure to inform your staffing manager as soon as possible. And with that, we thank you and welcome you to the Service Companies.